Bioavailability, this is a really big key, health and growth. Bioavailability equals health and growth. Now, bioavailability means that, let's take well water. Well water's got a certain parts per million of dissolved solids, dissolved minerals. Those minerals, in normal technology, are filtered out because they're not bioavailable and they actually harm your plants and your soil. This system takes and ionizes those minerals so that they actually are bioavailable. Therefore, they go from being a problem to being a solution through this system. So, all those minerals that are making it through and you're stripping them off and sending them into the ground again, they can be used for your plant. They are valuable nutrients that can be converted inside the system into bioavailability, which equals greater health and greater growth. Significance to production crops. I didn't write a lot. I just wanted to have some photographs of some of the work that we've done and some of our co-development partners have done. Tap water, carbon filter, our filter. These are some basic things with organic growth in this case. You get larger root growth, you got larger plant growth. You can see tap water, they're struggling to survive and make it. Carbon filtration works pretty good, but the plant's still not got its full potential. Then we've got also another one of ours. And so you show bigger roots, bigger growth of the plant. This one right here is Ayurvedic herb, untreated, treated. Untreated, you have fewer branches, bigger leaves, and fewer flowers. Treated water, and you have bigger root systems, you have more abundant growth and a higher level of flowering tops. And each one of those flowering tops actually has more medicinal compounds in them. This is one of the big things going on in the medicinal herb community. How do you produce a higher quality herb with maximum or optimum nutrient and medicinal profile? So that's kind of just gives you before, after, without, with. The significance of functional water is that what we're talking about here is creating special ionized water that gives everything to the plants and soil that they need to produce a high-quality crop. I said this before, but this is kind of the key feature of this, is producing water that gives your soil everything it needs to give to the plant. So I just wanted to thank you guys for showing up for this, considering water as the main element of high-quality plant growth and increased yields. And this is what Pro Gardening System is bringing forth to the gardener as a way that's going to a turnkey way for them to take their current water resources and turn them into the optimized water resource that gives you all of these benefits that we were talking about. These again, are some of the key things that we're looking at here that are across the board with all the plants that we've worked on, production plants. Cuttings propagating easier, root development increasing, reduction in fertilizing agents, growth and yields improved by over 30% or up to 30%. On an average, we got 30, some were higher, some were a little lower, averaged out. Plant health and resistance to disease greatly increased. Now, there's an enormous number of pathogens that are in almost everyone's operation. Those pathogens are there because of an imbalance in the system. Either nutrient imbalance, water imbalance, microbial imbalance. Any of these imbalances can cause the resistance of the plant to go down, the formation of molds and funguses and spores and like that to get on the plants. A lot of people are using this water to spray on their plants as a way to, as a solution for that kind of pathogenic mold growth to stop that from happening. So you can use this water in so many different ways. So the water comes in, you use it on your plants. The water comes in, you use it to do your teas and other kinds of fertilizing agents. You take this water and pull it up and add your nutrients. The nutrients that you add to this water will be more completely ionized into the solution. And this is a really big key factor, is that the nutrients that you use, hopefully they're good organic nutrients from Pro Gardening System, but if they're not, they're still going to go into the water. So, and you're going to get an increase in the amount of absorbability that those nutrients are in the water. So instead of, water with chlorine and some of these other things in it, actually destroy your organic components before they get to your plant. This is some of the problem that people are having when they're using city and over-treated well waters.
I can explain a little bit. We've been working with Tom hand in hand as far as the development of the product. But really, right now, we're really working at how to communicate its effectiveness into applying it into the garden.
Mhm.
And it's really tough to get lost into the science of it, but there's some basic science that I think that we took out today that I think me and Tom can probably touch on right now.
Exactly.
A couple things that come to mind for you guys. The first one is, the first thing that comes to mind, okay, we talk about and what we've been creating antioxidant, alkaline, ionized mineral water. We talk about the mineral water, creating it. Well, that's what we're doing when we bring the spring to us. It's a transformation process. And I really want to start using that term and understanding that that is really what's going on more than it's a filter. It's a transformation. It's a conversion medium more than it is a filtration medium. The carbon aspect of the medium is the biggest component that would have any aspect of filtration, right? Because carbon treatment will be treating your biological pathogen aspect of water, which all water sources have that aspect. Some are greater with wells, some are less with pre-treated city municipal sources, right? So that would be the biggest single component that would treat that. Now, the other components that are really important to the gardener, bringing this technology into our fertilization programs, okay, is that transformation process is something that actually, as Tom touched on very well, it actually adds dollars back into our pocket, especially those of us that are on organic programs. Okay, we're spending costly premiums for liquid calcium, okay, because we're making efforts to remove hard calcium. This product for the first time is allowing us to transform hard calcium into soft, available, bioavailable calcium, which allows us to do two things that are major benefits. The first thing is it eliminates the wasteful process that we have by filtering and removing. Okay, that's the first great benefit. The second great benefit is now we've transformed calcium into a usable resource, saving us dollars at PGS. This is true. I mean, here I'm telling you, this is true. So there's less in-cow, local harvest organics that you might want to have to pick up. This is honest. We can convert this now. And that's really why we have been working on this, because really that's really what is important to us is bringing this rad technology to the gardener. And so a couple other things that I want to touch on. Calcium is just one, but also traditionally and commonly found in city municipals will be magnesium, iron, and potassium. Okay? Now, magnesium, iron, and potassium, if you're familiar with gardening feeding regimens, these are the same types of nutrients that we have to put in additions and stimulants. In a lot of, you'll see iron in a lot of bloom stimulants. Potassium, obviously, in root and bloom stimulants. Right? Magnesium, because it's commonly deficient. And calcium and magnesium, calcium much more so, but it's very reactive, so it's always, that's why it's always lacking in most conventional or organic fertilizers, because in either form, it's one of the most reactive elements.
So basically you're just eliminating the whole, take it away and then add it back.
Correct. You're transforming it. And that's why this is a water treatment system and not a water filter. As much as the water does the carbon medium does a filtration process. That's why we've moved towards, it really is a growth enhancer. It's creating a growth enhanced living water. Now part of becoming bioavailability, actually the whole part of it, is the ionic change in the resonance that has the water coming from the municipal or well through the filtration. Okay? And these are mediums that they're ceramic infrared technologies that we don't get too deep into because the rabbit hole runs deep on it, right? But the simple fact is, as a grower, I'm telling you what's important so that when you want to, or are interested in applying this into your room, you understand what it's going to do citywide.